So the SPY is setting up for a highly predictable money-making opportunity heading into tomorrow. I'm going to show you step by step how to trade the SPY both ways. We are setting up for a highly predictable, simple, lucrative trading move heading into tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through step by step how we're planning to trade it. In terms of the end of this video, I'm going to be breaking down the trades that we ended up making today. We had two trades where we bought SPY and SPX call options towards the exact lows where you could have made a 1000% return on the day. I'm going to be breaking down all of the trades that we ended up making on the day towards the end. Let's get straight into the simple money making information. So in terms of how the daily chart is setting up, we are setting up for a very simple overall trend day, right? Now, based off of the easy money-making opportunity, man, what I would prefer to happen is a gap up. Based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart pattern, if the SPY gaps up, it's likely going to have a strong bullish trend day gap and go situation. Now, with that being said, I'm going to walk you through the two daily chart patterns that I'm seeing. Then I'm going to be breaking down the 10-day, 30-minute chart. Then we're going to be getting into today's trades. So in terms of the daily chart, let's go over the bullish pattern first. Now, in terms of the bullish pattern, you can see right here, you have this green bullish daily, the SPY has this big sell-off, the SPY has this big sell-off, right? So we're comparing the overall daily chart pattern. Then we have this green bullish uptrend. Then we have this green bullish uptrend. Now, if you compare this daily candlestick right here to this daily candlestick right here, along with this overall bullish trend at similar prices, higher support, gap close reversal, right? The overall SPY, if we gap up heading into tomorrow and we're opening up higher than the previous closing price, 604.22, the number one focus is going to be buying call options at the higher break and retest resistance levels that I'm about to provide to you. Based off of this overall daily chart pattern, right? I want you to see this very, very clearly, man. Look at these four daily candlesticks. Look at these four daily candlesticks, right? Starting with the red. If you look at this daily candlestick right here, is nearly identical to this candlestick right here. Next day, if we gap up, it is showing a strong bullish trend day where the potential bottom can be towards the previous day lows and slightly above that. Now, with that being said, if we're gapping up, the number one focus is going to be call options. And in this situation, if we do gap up, I would encourage you to enter the trade early into the morning and leave runners. Leave some runners up until the close because we can have a very strong bullish close. So in terms of this particular trade idea that is setting up, I would encourage you to leave some runners till close, aim a little bit bigger, make sure you're setting profit stops, don't go green to red, right? But I'm telling you, we could be setting up for a very massive bullish trend day to really start to push back up towards this 609 to 610 level. I mean, in terms of last time we went from 595 to 601. So we had a 6-point move upside. So we can potentially hit, 609 to 610 heading into tomorrow as long as we're gapping up. Now, in terms of the break and retest levels and based off this overall pattern, I want to bring awareness in terms of the overall trade idea. Write this down. Leave runners and get in early. Get in early, man, if we are gapping up on the call options, right? Now, in terms of the levels that I have for you, these are going to be the levels, man. In terms of the break and retest levels, so the previous closing price is at 604.22. What are the next resistance levels above? So in terms of the next zone above the previous closing price is going to be 605 to 606. This overall zone right here, you can see previous support towards 605, previous resistance towards 606, right? So that's the overall zone, 605, 606. If you're seeing a SPY gapping up, if you're seeing bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, bullish 30-minute candlestick patterns in between that zone on a gap up, is going to be a gap and go. And then as long as we are holding above the previous day highs, the SPY is bullish heading into tomorrow. Write that down. As long as we're above previous day highs, SPY is fucking bullish. And then in terms of the big move is going to occur once we can turn 605.30 into support. As long as we are holding above 605.30, the SPY will be on pace to break above 606.40. Once we break above that, drop back down, retest reactive support, the big fucking move will occur when we push above 606.30, and then we'll be on pace to go to 609 to 610. That's the overall game plan for call options. Now, in terms of put options, heading into tomorrow, the main focus on puts is going to be if we are gapping down or if the SPY is reacting very, very bearish at a flat open at the previous closing price. So if the SPY is gapping down under 604.22, this is the other daily chart pattern that I wanted to point out. So let me bring some awareness to this. As you can see right here, this is a very similar pattern as well. We have this red daily candlestick, then we have this bullish little uptrend, then we have this bullish little uptrend. This daily candlestick right here looks very similar to this daily candlestick right here. Next day, the SPY gapped down. It had a bearish drop, and then it had a bullish recovery. So if the SPY is gapping down or opening up flat, and we are going under 604, then you can attempt to buy put options as long as you're seeing a breakdown and retest where the SPY cracks below this level, spikes back up, forms lower highs to retest, turning that previous closing price, previous support into a new resistance level, new lower high, right? So in that situation, you could try puts. Now, in terms of the overall profit targets, right? So if we're going under 604, the next support level is going to be at 602. And that's where you're going to want to be locking in some profits because we could potentially have a small bounce towards that level before the SPY pushes lower. And then in terms of the next profit target below that is going to be 650. That is the game plan for put options. Now, if the SPY does react bearish in that previous closing price and we're gapping down, we're reacting bearish, right? There is a game plan for calls. The game plan for calls is going to be slightly above the previous day lows for a short-term reversal. Look for this overall move and this trade idea towards the middle of the day or towards the end of the overall day, right? So you're well aware if we're gapping down, if we're reacting bearish, you could try puts towards open and then lock in profits towards the overall profit targets I gave you. And then in terms of calls, the main play on a bearish day to be buying calls, these are the levels I have for you. So in terms of the low of day, it was at 598.60. So what we're going to do is we're going to go slightly above that. This is going to be the overall zone to be buying call options. It's going to be towards 600 to 601. If you're seeing bullish reactions towards that overall zone, you can buy call options, ride it back up to the mid 602.50 range, right? And then in terms of the next level below that, where you can look to potentially buy call options, it's going to be right in between this overall zone, 596.50 to 597.50, and then you can keep an eye on previous day lows. Those are going to be the two oversold zones to be buying call options if the SPY reacts bearish. So listen, man, this game plan is very simple, and I can assure you, if you apply the way it is that I trade and how I've been teaching you how I trade at these overall levels, you wait for the perfect setups, you wait for the confirmations, you should have a phenomenal green day heading into tomorrow, man. It's setting up for such a simple day. Based off the overall daily chart pattern, if we gap up, we're going to be buying calls early into the morning. If we're gapping down, we look for a scalp on puts, and then we wait for an opportunity on calls later into the day towards one of the oversold zones once we see the confirmations, right? So in a sense, if you think about it, that's 3 trade ideas. 2 of the trade ideas are on calls. 1 of the trade ideas is on puts, only really if we're gapping down or just reacting bearish at the previous closing price on an overall flat open. It's going to be such a simple, lucrative trading opportunity. Based off of everything that I'm seeing, losing should be a personal fucking choice, man. And I'm telling you, if the SPY's reacting fucking bearish, it's going to be a good opportunity to just buy that fucking dip towards one of the 2 zones I gave you. And I gave you 2 zones. So if the first one doesn't work out and the second one does, it's like, dude, if you don't know how to be profitable with a 50% win rate, you shouldn't be trading far the money options. You know, we have in terms of the 0-day options trailer system that we've created, you can literally be profitable with a 30% win rate. Like I gave you 2 zones for calls. If the first zone doesn't work out, the second zone should, and it should be 100% plus, and you can size in a little bit bigger. It's like, it should be fairly easy to be profitable heading into tomorrow, as long as you're using those trade ideas that I gave you and you wait for some sort of confirmation, man. Use this information, apply it to your trading tomorrow. Let me know how it is that you did trading this, being self-sufficient. Now, let's get into the fucking trades, man. You guys are well aware we have the best 0-to-8 options trades within the market that you're ever going to fucking see. I'm going to show you what happened inside of our secured private organization today. So let's get into the trades, man. Let's get straight into the money here. So in terms of the overall, 0-day options trade alert system, you can see you get an updated morning game plan. Very, very simple. Buy the dips if we go above 602.81 with key levels of interest, where to go long, where to go short before the market opens, right? Now, I'm not going to be going all over this, but like I said, this is a real-time 0-day options trade alert system. This is not just buy and sell alerts. This is a very strategic system that can consistently make you money at the speed of fucking light. Now, with that being said, if you want to experience this, it's the first link down below in the description, but let's get into the trades. So in terms of the morning session, the overall morning session, as you can see right here, the first trade on the morning, this didn't work out. We ended up getting in on AMD puts, and the puts simply did not work out. It was dead on arrival. So the first trade did not work out. Now, in terms of the second trade, you're going to see right here, we ended up getting in on 597 SPY puts for 55 cents a contract at 9:52 a.m. So in terms of this overall trade, you're going to see 597 puts right here. And then if we go to in terms of where we got in, this is where we got in. So as soon as we got in towards the 50 cent overall range, right? These contracts quickly went to 75 cents. Then they dropped lower and then they went higher, going all the way to 100 cents. You could have easily made 50 to 100% profit return on the overall second trade. Now, let's get into the third one. So in terms of the overall third trade, this one really didn't work out in a sense. I mean, if you got in and out very, very quickly, it could have. But 599 SPY puts, it went from 61 cents to 69. Nothing too crazy, but if you got in and out very, very quickly, it could have worked out for you. Now, in terms of the next overall trade, 603 SPY calls for 36 cents a contract at 11:09 a.m. So if you go to 603 SPY calls at 11:09 a.m., you're going to see right here, this is exactly where we got in at 11:09 a.m. So as you can see, this is one of the biggest volume spikes on the contracts at 11:09 a.m. The volume is at 4,500. Look at the fucking spike. It's fucking massive, man. Look at our fucking entry, 11:09 a.m. Do you understand? We're buying calls towards the exact fucking lows, man. The contracts went from fucking 30 to 20. We don't use fucking stop losses. We put in our entire position size as our max risk per trade. The most we're willing to risk is our entire position size. So we just let the trade expire worthless and go to zero if it doesn't work out. And then in terms of a dead play that drops 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, we hold it. And as long as we are right about the trend, it tends to go green. We set a profit stop when we're green, and the vast majority of the trades tend to go in the fucking money. Look at this. This trade went from 20 cents all the way to 100 fucking cents. From our fucking entry, you could have made a 200% profit return at the speed of fucking light, which easily recoups any else fucking before then. And then the contracts ended up going to 140 contracts, man. If you're using the right broker, as long as you're using the right broker that's meant to be traded be traded on 0-day options, right? You can literally hold these SPY contracts, the 0 dates, up until 4:15 p.m. Most people don't know that. You can hold it up until 4:15 p.m. with the right broker. Like I said, look into Charles Schwab, look into Thinkorswim. Now, with that being said, that was a phenomenal fucking trade where we're literally buying call options towards the exact fucking lows, and they go from fucking 20 to fucking 100 to make a fucking 500% plus potential fucking return, man. So that was one of the best trades on the overall day, but you're going to see in terms of power hour, we had another 1,000% plus potential gainer, man. It was fucking insane. So I'm going to walk you through all this, man. So let's get into it, man. So as you can see right here, set profit stops at 11:58 a.m. So when the contracts went from fucking 20 to 80 cents, we're setting profit stops, and everybody should have been stopped out in terms of where you should have been profit stopped out. If you did set the profit stops, you should have been profit stopped out right around here in the mid 70s, right? So in terms of the next overall trade, let's get straight into it. 602 SPY puts for 58 cents a contract. These quickly went up 9 cents. So again, in terms of this one, nothing too crazy, but if you're setting the profit stops when you're up 10 to 15%, you can still win on these overall plays that have been going up a little bit, like 20%, and then they flip back to red. So make sure you're setting the profit stops when you're up like 10 to 15% plus. Now, in terms of the next trade, 1:42 p.m., let's buy 603 SPY puts for 64 cents a contract, right? So if you go to 603, right? So if we pull this up here, I'm gonna walk you through this here, right? So let me load this up here for you real quick. So 603 SPY puts, 64 cents, and they quickly went to 78 cents a contract, right? So that was a nice little scalp, a nice little win you could have had there. And then in terms of the next overall trade, 2:08 p.m., 604 SPY calls for 31 cents a contract. So if we go to 604 SPY calls for 31 cents a contract, you're going to see right here, we ended up getting on these calls right here. As soon as we got in, they quickly went, up about 20, 30, 50, 20, 30, 40%, very, very quickly. Now, in terms of the next overall trade, I'm going to walk this through here. So let me break this down. This was the trade of the day, man. This fucking trade was fucking crazy. I'm telling you, you're going to see the best trades that are extremely low risk, especially on SPX when it's under 100 a contract, in between that range of 35 cents to 100 cents a contract. You're going to see on fucking SPX, man, look at this. 3:20 p.m., I'm going to walk you through both of these. So look at this. 3:20 p.m., 6065 SPX calls for 80 cents a contract, right? So if you go to SPX, 6065 calls, we got in right here at 3:20 p.m. In 1 fucking minute, these calls went from 70 cents, and the next minute they went to 160 cents. The calls went up over 110% in a single fucking minute. And it happened twice in a row, man. Look at this. This little consolidation you're seeing right here, this is a 100% gain back to back. From here to here is 100%, and then from here to here is 100%. Look at that fucking chart. It looks like it's fucking consolidating, but those fucking contracts are going up 100% back to back within 2 singular minutes, man. It's fucking crazy. So that was another 100% return you could have had. And this is where it got fucking insane, man. Look at this fucking play, man. 3:45 p.m., let's buy 6055 SPX calls for 120 cents a contract. So this one trade alone could have made up for any L's on the overall day, man. I mean, we have a lot of people, they trade the market open session, and if they're green, they just call it for the day. Maybe they come back towards, power hour and risk 25 to 50% of their overall gains to make more. And then if they're red in the morning, they just wait until power hour, because at the end of the day, the market open and especially the power hour trading session tend to have the highest risk to reward ratios with the biggest percentage gains. So, 6055 SPX calls for 120 cents. This one trade alone could have wiped out any L's. These 2 trades alone could have wiped out any fucking L's on the day, man. And keep in mind, the contracts on SPX are higher than the L's we had before this on the SPY trades. So that's another thing to keep in mind in terms of risk management 101. It's always good when you're buying higher price contracts and you're winning on those overall contracts. So 6055 SPX calls for 120 cents a contract. We ended up getting in right here at 3:45 p.m. I'm going to walk you through this, man. This was the trade of the fucking day, man. Look at this. Do you understand? Every single day this week, we've had 2 trades each day where we're buying SPY and SPX calls at the exact lows where you could have made a 1,000% return. Who the fuck do you know is doing this, man? Look at this fucking trade, man. You're not going to see anything else like this out there in the fucking market, man. Who the fuck do you know is doing this, man? Look at this. We got a real-time zero-day option trailer system. 3:45 p.m. 6055 SPX calls for 120 cents a contract. Right here, this is where we got in on the overall trade in the 100 cent range. We got in at the exact lows. Look at this. It was consolidating for 6 minutes. We got in at the exact fucking lows. And then these contracts went from 70 cents all the way to 700 a contract. These contracts went up 1,000% in 14 minutes. And the beauty of this play is the pullbacks were not big enough for you to get profit stopped out. So as long as you took this trade, you should have been selling above 550 at the bare minimum. You should have been selling right before the market was about to close into the mid 500 to 600 range. This is what you want, man. When you're up like 20% plus, there was no pullback big enough for you to really be profit stopped out in a sense. So it's like, and you could have got back in as well, even if you got profit stopped out. But the point is, man, this was just a straight fucking uptrend where you're not getting profit stopped out and you're selling for a potential, 700, 800, 900% plus gain, man. If you make a 1000% return, that means you could have 9 consecutive losses in a row and still be profitable. This is the beauty of making the biggest percentage gains, because it offsets the win rate where the win rate doesn't matter, man. If you're having days where you're making 1000% plus net positive, you can have 9 fucking 100% losses in a row. You can have 18 50% losses in a row and still be net positive for the overall day, for the overall week, hell, for the overall month, man. So that's the overall trades that we made. As you can see, man, this is the 3rd day in a row where we've had trades where we bought calls at the exact fucking lows and they've quickly gone up over 1,000%. And you wouldn't have even been profit stopped out because all the trade did was go the fuck up. So you're literally selling into the market close for massive 6, 7, 800, 900% plus gains. Now, for those of you who are serious about trading alongside with us, it's the first link down below within the description in terms of what you gain access to. You gain access to a real-time zero-date options trading alert system where you get many trades every single day alerted to you in real time. It's a very strategic system that is consistently making many members money. And if you trade alongside us, you're going to gain a lot of experience and become better at trading. So with that being said, we're going to absolutely crush it. And we're going to finish this week very, very strong within the green, man. I'm telling you, tomorrow we're setting up for a very simple move. And in terms of Friday, we tend to trade best on Fridays. So this is going to be an amazing week, man. Every single day this week, we've had 2 trades where we bought calls towards the exact lows and they went up over 1,000% plus, man. Losing is a personal fucking choice if you're maximizing the wins, man. This one win could have offsetted any losses that you had on the day. And we also had multiple wins, right? So we did have more L's than usual, but we did have some good wins. And then we had one massive win. I'm telling you, the wins are always going to outweigh the L's, because when we win, it's unlimited profit potential, and we're having trades where you're not even getting profit stopped out and you're up over 500 to 1,000%. And then in terms of a loss, the most you can lose is 100%. So use that to your advantage and you can create your own risk management system with that overall experience. We have some people, they go a little bit heavier on the second strike. When we're down on a play, they size in a bit heavier on the second strike because they know we rarely have like a losing streak where we have multiple losses in a row. I mean, 2 at the absolute most. But I mean, statistically, they know if the first trade doesn't work out, the second trade likely is going to work out, especially if it's on the same side of the overall trend. And if that doesn't work out, then definitely the third one. So statistically, it's like it makes sense to size in a little bit heavier and then add to that winner. I mean, in terms of sizing in heavier, it could be like 25, 30%. But if you want to gain access to our secure community and our real-time zero-day options trading alert system where you can trade alongside our community, trade alongside us, it's going to be the first link down below within the description. You can turn on push notifications and get these alerts every single day alerted to you, right? You could see these are the option quote prices moving in real fucking time, explaining to you when to add to the position, when to set profit stops. I'm telling you, when we win fucking big as well because we add to winners. Look at this, 597 puts for 55 cents a contract. Everything's alerted 100% real time. Add, double it, and then boom, it just fucking goes up another 100%. So it's the first link down below within the description. If you want to trade alongside us, we're known for trading cheap, low risk, far out of the money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. With this overall system, we put in our entire position size as our max risk per trade. The most we lose is what we put in. So if the trade expires worthless and goes to 0 and never goes green, then we lose on the overall trade. You lose your R multiple. Your max risk per trade is what we're putting into these trades. You can get started with just one contract, gain a lot of experience, and start with a small account as well, right? The contract prices are literally, 50 cents, 80 cents, so $50, $80 a contract, right? If you can't afford to risk that, then don't fucking trade. The profit potential is unlimited profit potential. During the power hour trading session from 3:30 to 4 p.m., you can enter SPX plays under 100 cents a contract, typically around 50 to 75 cents, and they can go up over 1,000% in less than 15 minutes. The power hour trading session tends to be the absolute best time to be trading, where literally one SPX YOLO can make up any L's you had on the day. It can bail you out, and it can get you up very, very big with just one trade. The SPX wins are always going to outweigh any losses we had before. A 1,000% win offsets 10 100% losses in a row. So as the first link down below in the description is a very unique options trading alert system. Like I said, you're not going to find anything else out there like this on the fucking planet. Also, you're not going to find another community out there, in the fucking planet like us, man. So it's the first link down below. within the description. And, just to give you some more background, like I said, they're very, very cheap, low risk contracts, 0-day expirations, right? Make sure you're using the right broker when you're trading this unique trading style. And, in terms of some more background, we never use the stop losses. If the trade doesn't work out, contracts expire worthless, go to zero. In terms of when a trade works out, when we're up 10, 15% plus, set a profit stop, you get stopped out for profits. So as long as the trade goes up and the trades go up before they go in the fucking money, right? Obviously, if they go in the money, the wins are going to be fucking insane. But, before the contracts go in the money, the trade can go green and we set the profit stop. So as long as we're green on a trade and we're up 10, 15%, we win because we set profit stops. We get stopped out for profits. We quickly add to winners when we're up a small, percentage gain, like 10, 15, 20% to increase the fucking winning, like you saw in the SPY puts. And then from there, in that particular situation, we move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we protect our gains. As the trade works in our favor, we move the profit stop up higher because if the market has a big move against us, we're going to want to keep the majority of the profit, right? We don't want to just get stopped out for green. We want to keep the bulk of the overall profit, right? So eventually you get profit stopped out, you sell the move, you leave some to run. You don't have to have your entire position size on your profit stop. You can leave runners to run, sell the runners deep in the fucking money. So it's an overall system where we're choosing to trade the trend, right? And we have an advanced risk management system. Like I said, when we're down big percentage on a dead play, 70% of the time it comes back to life and goes into money. And then we'll look to enter a second strike. The second strike will be timed a lot better and it will go up like fucking crazy, size in a little bit heavier in terms of adding. We don't add to losers. We buy a second strike, trade the fucking trend, quickly add to winners, set the fucking profit stops, increase the fucking wins by adding to the fucking winners. It's very, very simple, man. All right. So it's the first link down below in the description if you want to print with us at the speed of fucking light. Because like I said, man, you really have to ask yourself when it comes to trading, who the fuck do you know is doing this, man? Like we're talking about a play where we're buying SPX calls at the exact fucking lows. This is the third day in a row where we did this, right? And it's going from 100 all the way to fucking 800 a contract, man. Look at this. This is where we bought the fucking SPX calls. Look at the fucking move on SPX. You understand, man? Look at this fucking play on SPX. We bought these fucking SPX calls right fucking here at 3:45 fucking PM at the fucking lows. This is where we got in SPX at the fucking lows. SPX went from 6,050 all the way to 6,062. That is a 12-point move. With the strike that we chose, those fucking contracts went from 75 cents all the way to 700 cents a fucking contract. If you want to make serious fucking money and start printing with us at the speed of fucking light, it is the first link down below within the description. I can assure you, we have many, many members who are consistently making $500 to $1,000 a day. We have some members who are making 5 figures a week. We have some members who are making 6 figures a month, man. I'm telling you, man, absolutely crushing it. On WAP today, out of over 12,000 fucking groups, we were in the top 100. We ranked in the 60s today in terms of Team Roar, man. We absolutely fucking crushed it, man. Look at this. This is just from today, man. 15% gain. We had many members fucking crush it. Pro, he's been with us for years. $2,400 profit, and he uses, I believe that's Prop Firm. We have many traders. I'm telling you, man, look at these fucking results, man. Fucking, the gains are fucking insane, man. This guy just fucking joined, already fucking crushing it. Like, I'm telling you, man, is the first link down below in the description if you want to start printing with us. I mean, you're going to fucking see, man, on these fucking trades. Basically, if you take a fucking SPX play or a play in the morning, vast majority of the time, it's going to look like fucking that. It's just a straight fucking, it's just straight up, man. It's just straight the fuck up. I'm telling you, man, the results are there. We're fucking crushing it. It's the first link down below with the description. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off. So if you guys want to join us, it's the first link down below in the description. And I'll see you guys tomorrow within the overall chat.